Alright, we're going to try this one, see if it works out all good. I'm sure our editor is going to get back to us later and tell us that we are absolutely crazy using the settings that we are. We don't know what we're doing. Camera's over there, Trace. Anyways, hi, my name is Keith Jackman, and welcome to this inaugural edition of a review. This is my son and co-recorder for this podcast. His name is Tracen Jackman. Go ahead, Tracen, introduce yourself a little bit, and then I will tell a little bit about myself. Go ahead.
Okay, then. As you pretty much all know, my name is Tracen. And today we are going to be reviewing the 5, 6 Commander Keen games.
5 and 6. Just those two. Just kidding. There are 5 games that were original to the series, and we're going to review all 5 of those, plus the 6th one, Keen Dreams. But we should give you an idea as to what this podcast is actually going to be about. So we have decided, one, that we got a new microphone for Christmas, and that was part of the reason why we decided, hey, we ought to do something with it. Secondly, there's a lot of cool stuff out there. There's a lot of stuff that we like, and not necessarily even stuff that we like, but we can give you a review of stuff that we don't like as well. But there's a lot of stuff out there that doesn't really get talked about. We can tell you a little bit about ourselves. Me, I was born in the late 80s, and it seems to me like a lot of the stuff that I'm interested in is kind of from that era. So especially when it comes to video games, you can see we're going to probably talk about video games a little bit. We got some things that indicate some video game stuff. And I really have not really done my son much of a service of updating him on anything that is contemporary. So we talk a lot about stuff like that. We talk about music that comes from video games. We talk about music that comes from the 80s and 90s. And we just kind of wanted to share that with the folks out there in the internet. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you want to... What do you got any, anything you need to tell us about it?
The setup?
Sure, tell us about the setup.
Okay, then, so we have... So in this corner, we have a manual for Super Mario Sunshine and NES Mini, along with its controller. And down here, you can see I have my Pokemon card collection with various game controllers, games, and books.
Okay, awesome. And how old are you?
I am 10 and a half years old.
Okay. What do you do? What is it that you are interested in? Because I told them about some of my interests, but what about yours? What is it that you like? What fires your passion?
I would probably say the fact that you like them too, because yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we certainly hope that through our journey of podcasting and broadcasting that we end up getting some new interests, get some new comments from you folks, get turned on to some great things. This is an open podcast, so it's ours, but it's yours. Which means that if there's anything that you want us to talk about, anything you want us to review, we'd be happy to look at it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get down to business. We want to talk about Commander Keen. Tracy, you got your notes?
Yes, I do.
You were sitting on them.
Yes.
No, they're warm notes, folks. They're straight from the butt. Anyways, Tracen, so what's the first game?
So, our first game for today is Commander Keen 1, Marooned on Mars.
Marooned on Mars. All right, do you know what year that came out?
No, I do not.
Well, I don't either, but let's say that it came out in the early 90s, like 91, 92. Sound good? Sound good. We'll probably get some verification out in the comments. Smash that like and subscribe buttons. Anyways, all right, so Marooned on Mars. It's been a while since we played this.
Yeah.
What do you remember about the very first Commander Keen?
So, in the first few stages, you get a pogo stick that enhances your jumping.
Mm-hmm.
And there's certain levels that you have to get through to advance to others.
What about the plot line? What is it that, what's the story?
Oh, so the basic story is 8-year-old Billy Blaze, that is his name, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
decides to go in a spaceship, and he crashes on Mars, losing some of his parts, all that are his brother's video game joystick, which is the steering controls, his small vacuum as propulsion, and 2 other things that do you remember them?
No.
Yeah,
No, I don't. But yeah, you've got those items that you're to collect in order to get off of the alien planet.
Also, there are inhabitants that are known as Vorticons on Mars.
Glad you remember that one.
Yeah. From the planet Vorticon 6. So, they take a few shots from your little laser gun to defeat. There are also little one-eyed creatures that they're harmless. It's just they push you a little bit if
Yeah.
you touch them.
I think those are the actual Martians, I think. Because I don't think you see them in any of the other games.
Oh yeah,
But he does take one home as a pet at the end.
yeah.
I don't want to give it away. But yeah. Okay. So the gameplay is the story is fairly rich. I kind of like it. I think that Billy just throwing on a Green Bay Packers helmet and going in his rocket ship, which is called the
I think it's the Bean and Bacon Mega Rocket.
the Bean and Bacon Mega Rocket, baby. This is a good one. And he's walking around. He's got a purple shirt on, blue jeans, all that stuff. Tell me about the soundtrack for this game.
There is pretty much no soundtrack until you get to part 2 of.
Don't want to give it away.
Yeah. There is no soundtrack in the first 3 games.
Yeah, so the first one is it was shareware when it first came out, so that's how I first got it. And it doesn't have any soundtrack. It's got you got the sound of Keen walking around, which is just like
Yeah,
and then you
the sound of the laser gun firing.
I think. Yeah. He's jumping on his pogo stick. Sort of.
Like, it's basically, well, most games have a jumping sound effect. Right?
You select the level and it gives you one of those.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's about as much music as you get. And so there's some of the levels that you can skip, but you do so at your own peril because, again, you're trying to find some of those parts. So you don't really know unless you go against the era, right, and look it up on the online and try to find a walkthrough on it. But the game goes through and Keen makes it through different parts, and the only real thing that you can collect is, I mean, there's items to collect, but it's mostly just gives you points, right? So you got like candy bars and cans of soda.
And also another part of the plot.
Teddy bear.
Yeah.
You can collect the teddy.
Let's just say that Vorticons stole your teddy bears and hid them on Mars.
Yeah, jerks. But anyways, yeah. So we've got that, and then some of my favorite parts in that is that there are some levels that are dark. And this is, I think I only recall this in part 1. They had these invisible blocks that you can jump up on top of, and you can't see them except for they've got 1 pixel on the right-hand corner of these blocks.
Yeah.
And so you gotta be careful when you're doing that because a lot of times they got these random fire pits that you can fall into. No good for Mr. Keen because he turns into like a little Keen sandwich and flies off. And that's the only way that you can only collect extra lives normally in this game with just collecting up a certain amount. You have to get certain key cards to get to the end of each level, because there will be doors. Like there's like a blue door, a green door, red door, and so that can kind of tie you up a little bit on some of the levels. And then it's kind of a pain in the patoot because you get through the level and you didn't collect any of the parts of the rock, and you're like, oh crap, I could have skipped this one. But sometimes the level's in the way, so you got to beat it to get to the next one.
And there's also one hit can kill you in most Commander Keen games.
Yes, that is a true story. The one thing that is kind of a little bit of a bummer to me in this game is, as I recall it, there's no end boss, right?
There was in the first one, but
is it the Wolfie that you have to, you shoot the chain and then the brick comes down on it?
You shoot a chain above him and then the roof falls down. So.
Yeah, it's not like it. I don't think he was necessarily end boss material so much as he needed to have somebody there at the end, so they did.
Yeah.
It worked. And as soon as you beat him, then you have beat the game. Do you remember what the end of the game was like?
So, the end of the game was basically he takes one of the little Martians home.
They did.
And
freaks out his mom.
It freaks out his mom. So she tells him to go to bed first, and then the last thing you see is the Martian outside telling Billy that it smelled.
I think you're on the wrong episode.
Oh yeah.
Because
I think it was the second one.
The first one zooms out and you can see the Vorticon's spaceship. They had followed him back to Earth, and they're going to destroy the Earth. So that leads us to the next episode. Episode 2 of Commander Keen is what?
The Earth explodes.
Yes. So the Earth explodes. Does the Earth explode?
It depends on your skills. It really does.
It explodes lots of times, depending on what you do wrong. Yeah. I think we blew up the Earth at least a dozen times or more.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody. But glad you're back. But anyways, we you end up on the ship, and this one is not the. This is the one it's like a satellite, right? Like you go to the different parts of it, right?
Yeah.
And then, as I recall, it's on each part of the ship, it's got a laser that'll destroy a certain city on Earth, right? Which is interesting because it's not like the Earth explodes because you're aiming at one city, right?
Yeah, but like if you get a game over, then there's no one to stop them, so the Earth will eventually explode.
Yeah, I don't remember a whole lot. It's based. I think they did these back to back to back. So the first 3 are really kind of similar in the way that they play. Yeah, so Keen's got the same kind of thing. He's got his pogo stick. You don't have to earn it in the second one, which is nice. Is it in this one that the laser has turned from green to blue? Do you remember that?
I don't exactly remember a lot of it, but I'm guessing probably.
I remember that each of them had the machine at the end of them that you had to go and
check the levels on the machine.
Yeah, and you shoot your laser at the glass portion, or you jump on your.
No, I think that was in 5.
No, but anyways, you have to disable all of these machines in order to save the Earth. Do you remember anything else about Part 2 that was kind of interesting?
I would say probably Vorticons appeared a lot more often, and you had to fight them off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If I recall correctly, I think they take like 4 or 5 shots to.
Yeah, and I remember those wolves were around quite a bit more too, weren't they?
The wolves are the Vorticons.
Oh, is that what they are? Yeah. Okay, sorry. I think were those little soldiers that were marching back and forth? That must have been in the first one, I think.
What?
They would just push you again.
Oh, the red ones?
Yeah, those little guys with the little yellow faces.
Yeah, I think that might have been in 3.
Okay, well, we'll get on to 3 in a minute. But yeah, so Part 2 is I think 4 or 5 different machines pointed at cities, and they got little pictures, right? So it shows you Cairo and London and
Paris.
Paris, and you save those cities one at a time. And yeah, same kind of thing. You're collecting points to get your. There was one more thing that we almost probably would have not have beat the game had we not figured out how to do it. Is on the last level. Was it this one that you had to turn off the lights in order
Oh
to?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were huge fat vorticons. No offense to you guys out there.
Those Vorticons. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry, Vorticons.
Sorry about that. And there is a light switch at the beginning of the last level, and they will not jump at you if you turn off the lights.
Yeah, it made things a lot easier because the last level, as I recall, had to go over a lot of pits, goes over a lot of enemies, and you're jumping on these moving platforms, and finally you can get to the end, and you get off of the ship. I believe it doesn't blow up the ship, right? I think they take off back to.
Yeah, they take off back. So. Yeah, they take off back to Vorticon 6, and they tell the Vorticon, what was it?
The Grand Supreme Leader, or whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so they fly back to Vorticon 6, tell their leader about Billy, and then and then that leads you on to the plot of the next game.
Yeah, part 3. Billy takes off and goes back to. I think he goes back to Earth at the end of part 2, and then he.
And then his little pet Martian reminds him that he snows.
Yeah, and it was Stone, and he then takes off to Vorticon 6 in part 3. Part 3, we didn't play for very long because we found out the sneaky hint. Sneaky hint is that you only need to beat like 2 or 3 levels to actually beat that game.
Yeah.
The point of that one I don't recall as being anything that was deep and but I think you just needed to go and figure out who the Supreme Leader was and stick it to him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a few things that were worth noting. There's like a Loch Ness monster or whatever that's swimming around on the map. And if you hop onto it, it can give you passage to other parts of the planet. But again, we skipped that because we were kind of in a hurry just to beat it because we do our best to try to play these games outside of the time when Tracen's mom wants us not. I mean, like we're trying to be nice to her.
Yeah.
So we try to do it as quick as we can. So we're not speedrunners by any means. We are not that talented. But if we can beat a game quick, we have a motto. And what is our motto?
Blow right through it.
Blow right through it. So we just try to get through it, and hopefully we can win. And so that's what we did with Commander Keen 3. Yeah.
Also.
Well, what's the name of it? Sorry.
It's So after they tell their leader about him, he issues out order, and that is the title. He must die.
It does. Okay, so.
Oh shoot.
But I don't recall dying as much on this one.
Yeah.
I think we got through it pretty quick. I think this was the easiest of the first 3 games.
However, it does have a pretty swell final boss.
Yeah, so this final boss, go ahead and tell.
So let's just say he is a resident of your planet, and you basically have a rivalry because of your IQ scores. Billy's 314, his 315. So he keeps teasing him as Mr. 314, and so.
What's his name?
I think it's like I had it in my mind for a second.
Starts with an N.
Yeah, and
Mordecai. I can't read it.
Yeah.
It's like it's 2 N's, like Mr. Mordecai and Murph. But whatever. Yeah. So let's call him Mordecai. It could be. It might not be. Who knows? But, anyways, so we get to the final boss, and who is it?
It's him.
Mordecai.
Let's just call him Mordecai.
With Mordecai,
It's Mordecai in a giant machine.
Mortimer, I think, is what his name.
Yeah, Mortimer.
Mortimer's what? Yeah, what's his last name?
Mortimer McMire. So.
Mortimer Mordecai.
No, it's Mortimer McMire. I remember it perfectly. So, let's just say Mortimer had brainwashed all the Mordecons to obey him, and after you defeat him by shooting at various parts of the robot's body, after you defeat him, then the Vornicon leader, actually the real Vornicon leader, comes up to you and gives you a medal, and so ends part 1 of the whole series.
Yeah, so there's two parts of the series. So there's this one, which is the first 3 games, and then the second series, but then there was also in the middle between those two, what?
Keen Dreams.
Keen Dreams. Now, tell me, why was Keen Dreams not...
Good.
Well, was it not very good, or was it...
It was...
It
It was good, it's just it wasn't...
It takes a certain group, I think.
Yeah. Takes a certain group to like.
Yeah, and it's, it was built, as I recall, Apogee did something with ID Studios, and, apparently the two disagreed, and so they made this one in between. It didn't get the type of distribution that they wanted. It ended up on Steam late, and so it was not included in the complete pack that we had. The rest of the keys.
Yeah, it wasn't in there, so...
We bought this one separate for 70 cents, I think. It was on sale.
It was like 75.
Yeah.
82 cents.
Yeah, so...
50 cents, I don't know.
Okay, you launch into this one, because as I recall talking to you about this beforehand, you said that you kind of liked it a little bit, so...
Yeah, I did like it a little bit.
Okay, well, let's talk about it. What's the plot line on this one?
So, he has an argument with his mom about eating his vegetables. And he falls asleep and is brought into a land filled with vegetables that you must play through to finish the game eventually.
And defeat the end boss. 1, 2, 3. Boober tubers. Oh, Boobus tubus.
Yeah.
It was Boober tuber.
It's a Boobus tuber.
Boobus tuber. Unflattering, yes, but nevertheless.
He basically is a giant potato with a bunch of eyes,
Lots of
arms
eyes.
and legs, and a crayon.
Yes, we'll get to him in a minute. Do you remember anything else about the levels?
All the enemies are vegetables.
Yeah.
Like there's some annoying carrots, French fries, annoying carrots, French fries, and I can't remember. There's one more in there.
It was like a celery?
I think it was broccoli.
Broccoli dudes?
Yeah.
Yeah, anyways, they're walking around and they'll just run into you and stuff and kill you. There is, Keen is now still wearing his pajamas. He wakes up in his bed on top of a hill on this foreign planet. So is it a dream? Is it something that he's actually doing? Who knows?
He wakes up into the dream.
You're right. And he has to destroy the dream machine, as I recall, that is, I forget, but I remember there's some reason for it. They're using the dream machine as making havoc on this planet of veggies.
So now let's go back to Boobus Tuber. So
you play through all the levels, you can finally open the gate to his castle. You get to his castle, and
so basically you play through the castle, finish it, and then you go into the Boobus chamber. And that is where you basically fight him. So you can throw bombs in this one instead of a laser gun, which is kind of cool. So the goal...
Tell him about your pogo stick.
Oh yeah, you do not have a pogo stick. But you can run which gives you a big jump.
Which would have been really nice if we would have figured it out before we got to the end boss.
Yeah.
Well, sort of end boss.
So after you beat So the goal is not to beat him when you go into the chamber for the first time. You just have to get to the end of his chamber.
Yes, Henry.
So, after you get to the end of his chamber, he basically boots you out, and there are these bombs that you have to get. You have to get 12 of them.
I call
Boobus bombs. Yeah.
Okay.
So, they basically look like bombs, but they have a smart face.
Yes.
So,
And I think it was there 4 or 5? I forget. Man, to get. But anyways, yeah. It's then you get to the end boss after you complete it all. Now the funny
after
thing
you
is,
find 12 Boobus bombs, you get to go back into his.
well, and they don't tell you that once you go back into the level. And by the way, the version on Steam that we got, there was some type of glitch with the display, so we were not able to see that we were going. You had to select the second part of the level, and we couldn't figure out how to select it. Finally, we found out how to select it, but we were just about ready to throw that game out the window. At least I was. Tracen was probably like, "Oh, it's still fun."
Yeah, I still fought for it though.
Yeah, he still said, "Nah, this is a good game." And I said, "No." But so, anyways, we found out how to get the bombs. Finally got him, and you would think, okay, he's gonna change his tactics. No, he's still a large lumbering potato, and he just walks right at you.
No, but the stage is definitely different. The stage is definitely different.
Yeah.
In the first part of the level, it's basically just a big hallway that you walk into with various enemies. You get out of it and basically go into let's just say, a garden, pretty much.
Yeah.
There's an army of smaller potatoes down there.
What?
You're trying to hop on flowers over them. In the second part of it, though, in the second part of the level, it's basically just a big vertical tower.
Yeah.
With little footholds. And you just throw the 12 loose bombs at him.
12, not 5, sorry.
12.
I thought it was 5.
What's 12?
12? Holy cow, I don't remember playing that many levels, but okay.
Yeah. So you get that, you get all those, and your bomb supply automatically switches to the other bombs. And after you launch the 12 bombs at him, he is destroyed and you wake up.
Yes. And what do we wake up to?
His mom said that his mom said there was something on the TV that he would like to see. He saw it and she told him that the president declared this "I hate broccoli day." and all kids could choose a vegetable that they wouldn't eat for a while.
Yeah.
So he refuses to choose any vegetables, but after having that dream with the vegetables, he just asks mom not to give him any french fries for a while.
Because he had to fight.
Yeah.
All right. Let's rewind. And let's do some ratings real quick, since we're halfway through all of these games. So, Marooned on Mars, what would you give that as far as a rating?
So, on a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah, scale of A's through F's.
A through F's?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll probably give it a B plus, probably.
Yeah. Okay. Give me one big pro and one big con.
I would say that it did a really good job of starting the series. It was pretty. It basically set the rules for a lot of the games.
Okay, good pro. What's a con?
A con is that it's a little bit difficult if you're playing on PC. So you can't jump very far unless you have the pogo stick. That's basically the height.
I think Keen Dreams may have changed it. I can't recall, but I recall that The problem that we always had was that we didn't have enough shots for our ray gun, and that if you push the buttons at the same time, because I think you had to push the buttons to jump at the same time, or if you push one different.
You push the buttons at the same time to activate the full stick.
Yeah, and so anyways, you can shoot, and you lose your laser, which is, yeah, that's probably a con for me. You said you were talking about jumping. So part 2, wait, what was that one?
Do you have a rating for that?
Oh, for Mega Man 1? Mega Man. Commander Keen, sorry, my apologies.
Commander Keen 1.
For Commander Keen 1, Marooned on Mars, I'm going to give that, I think I'm going to give it a B+. You said B+? What did you say, B?
I said either B plus, or B minus.
I'm going to give it a solid B+. There's too many memories from my childhood with this game for me to give it anything less. I played this one for hours, and it was pretty darn good. I think the one con that I would have is the Vorticons running out of nowhere, and you don't have enough time to react.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, you're like, hey, I'm going to go walk over here, and all of a sudden,
they are fast.
Yeah, so
very fast.
that's kind of a pain, but other than that, I think it's a pretty solid game. Number 2, on the spaceship, killing all of the deadly bad lasers. What's your grade for that one?
I would actually give that like just a B.
Solid B. Okay.
Yeah, because it was probably a good upgrade from the series, but there were a lot more Vorticons.
Yeah.
One more Vorticons, a lot. I can't remember what it was. There was something about the. Well, it's not that different from the first one.
Yeah.
But the plot is definitely different, and I did like how they added the machines.
Yeah.
To destroy.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna probably give it a C+, to be honest. I liked it. It might bump up to a B- for me. I didn't get frustrated with it. It might even sneak into B, but maybe B. But mostly I'm thinking C+, because again, they didn't really improve on the formula so much. But it was solid. It was still good. Like if that was the only game that I had to play in the series, I would probably say, yeah, it's good. It's a one-time play. I don't know how much replayability I would put on it, because again, I had replayed the first one so many times. I'm kind of used to it. It's pretty fun anyway.
Yeah.
Part 3, Tracen. King must die.
King must die. Yeah. So there, as I was telling you earlier, that the Vorticon leader sends out an order to kill King. So, and they're there. Yeah, you're on their planet, Vorticon 6, and you are basically making your way through their villages until you get to the...
But what's your grade for it?
Wait, we talked about...
Yeah, we talked all about it. I'm not asking you what's your grade for it?
What's your grade for it?
I was like, where are you going with this? Okay, go ahead. What's your grade?
My grade for it would probably be like
an A.
No.
Oh, no, sorry.
Probably not an A. I'm just trying to recall information about it.
Yeah.
So, I'll probably give it like a B+.
B+.
It was probably one of the best ones.
So stronger than 2 for you.
What?
Stronger than part 2 for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely stronger than part 2.
Okay.
But it is a little bit more frustrating.
Yeah.
Because there are the Vorticon's brothers are in there, and they take a little bit of work to beat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they breathe fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're a little bit shorter, and they wear polka dot dresses.
Yes. Beware. Little polka dotted lady.
Beware of the polka dot dresses.
I don't recall a ton about this one that I really was super duper keen on. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, there was also a few other new enemies. There were also Vorticon ninjas. Do you know what I'm doing?
Yeah, they also moved very fast.
They jump extremely
Yeah.
high and they deliver very powerful kicks.
Yeah, when you think you're safe, and then yeah.
Like there's this one level where there's like 3 of them coming at you at the same time, and you're just like, ah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So part of the 3, I recall being rushed with it, and I was like, I don't want to play this one so quick. And aside from mode, I just wanted to get done with it, and so I can give it. I think it's gonna be a solid. I'll give this one a C+ too, because I wanted to get done with it, and I did. You know what? No. Take back the C+. I'm gonna give it a B, because I thought that the ending was really good. Yeah. I liked running into my childhood rival that we had heard nothing about in the first 2 episodes. Yeah. It was just kind of Deus Ex Machina kind of that stuff. But I liked that. I thought it was funny. And so here's this rival of mine that is only 1 degree smarter than me. I love that. I felt like the boss was pretty good. It wasn't horrible. I mean,
yeah, it wasn't
it wasn't frustrating. So I'm gonna give it that. The ending redeems it. Let's put it that way. I felt like the game itself was boring, but I liked the boss. I liked the ending. Yeah. Okay, and then Keen Dreams, Tracen. What's your grade on Keen Dreams?
Keen Dreams, I would probably say I'd a B-.
B-. Wow, that's solid.
B or B-, either one.
Okay. Hold on to your biscuits here. You ready for mine?
I'm holding on to... Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to give this thing a D+.
A D+.
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 I was incredibly frustrated with Keen Dreams for a couple of reasons. One, I felt like a lot of the levels were really easy. I also felt like if it wasn't easy, it was blisteringly hard. More hard than it should have been. And then I felt like the second quest was unnecessary. Like, build me more map. Find me more places to put the levels, as opposed to saying, go back to all the same levels and select the other. And it's weird because it's like, this is the definitive edition of the game that they put out on Steam, and it's still glitchy. Yeah. So, yeah, it definitely is not going to get on the honor roll anytime soon for me.
Yeah, the grapes were a little bit...
Oh, yeah. Actually... I did like the sound effect of the grapes whenever they fell down. So,
yeah.
That was very fun. So yeah, there's these levels where you have to run underneath these grapes, and
the grapes will fall down.
And they fall. And if you don't know how to use the run button, guess how easy it is to get under the grapes.
Very, very easy.
No, it wasn't easy for me, but whatever.
It's easy to get under the grapes.
Whatevs, said the dad. Anyways, let's go with part 4.
Part 4. Okay.
Part 4.
Now we are actually doing an actual... Yeah, so either way, this is the part 2 of the actual series. The actual series. So, part 2 of the series. Episode 1 is Secret of the Oracle.
It's still 4.
It's still 4.
It's still 4, yeah, but okay.
People refer to it as Keen 4.
Okay, so it's Keen 4, and it's the Secret of the Oracle.
This is where they revamped like the whole series.
Our file.
It had pretty much the same graphics as Keen Dreams, but you're now wearing your purple t-shirt and jeans now.
Mm-hmm.
And you were wearing your football and your Keen Dreams.
What else happened? What else came back? Tell me what just came back.
I can't remember.
Come on, I need you to tell me.
The pogo stick.
It's the pogo stick!
Yeah, the pogo stick is back.
Yes.
The graphics got really updated.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like, let's just say it used to be Nintendo and now it's SNES.
Okay, yeah, for those of you that caught that reference. But it's true, yeah.
It's basically the graphics got updated and there's new enemies and... So...
What's the name of that fish with the big teeth?
The fish?
Yeah, there's a big fish in there, and he ends up becoming a lot of memes.
Oh.
It's like a dorkfish or something like that.
Yeah, it was a dorkfish.
Yeah, dorkfish in there. So that's where that came from, is from this one. This one is also shareware, which means that it got distributed quite a bit more than the last 3 that we talked about.
Yeah, it was definitely an upgrade to the series. They put in a lot of different enemies, which were like a kind of H-worm that, let's just say, it puts out slime out of its hindquarters.
Oh, you're talking about the slugs.
The slugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put out slime out of the hindquarters,
Yeah.
and it is also poisonous to King.
And it's tell me about the soundtrack. Is it an upgrade from the first?
Yeah, they definitely actually...
There's a
There's an
soundtrack.
actual soundtrack. Be warned.
And it's a good one. It's catchy.
Yeah.
I like going into the first level and getting that. Yeah, so good.
Okay,
It's a good
so...
And the other one that I like is the other, like the.
So...
Go ahead, Tracen.
Okay,
Sorry.
so there is a soundtrack in there, which was a big upgrade from the first few. Was there also a soundtrack in Kid Dreams?
Yeah, I don't know if it was the original one. The one that we played got put in there, but I found that it was slightly annoying and overly repetitive.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me about King Dreams. It's not
Yeah,
good.
let's just not talk about
Don't
it.
talk about it.
We're done with Kid Dreams
What
for
the-
now.
It never happened. But anyways,
never happened.
It never happened.
Never ever.
Okay, so I could talk about number 4 all day. There's some stuff that poked out to me, but I'd like for you to go first.
So you can actually adjust the direction you shoot your laser gun in this one. So you can shoot it upwards
Scene.
now. So there's also a level with that opens a gate to a secret war.
Look.
You basically get a fear. So it's not slugs. There's inchworms that you put together. You get 12 of them together, and then there's a flying foot that appears.
Because 12-inch worms equal a foot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a footworm. So
Okay. Fuck you. Okay, gross.
forget I said that.
Yeah, okay,
So-
keep going.
So there's a giant flying foot that it basically flies you over to a secret level.
Mm-hmm. I don't think we beat it.
Yeah, we never beat the secret
Nah,
level.
because again, what's our motto?
Blow right through it.
That's right, we blew right through it.
So there's oh my gosh, I can't believe we forgot to talk about this, and I forgot what it was already. Oh, the fact that I have to find a bunch of oracles.
Old dudes.
Old dudes in red robes.
Yeah.
So they're basically always Dumbledore without the hat.
Sure.
So
Sure. Okay. I recall. No, there's not a lot in the way of collectibles aside from going to find the oracles. Same kind of stuff as the last ones. You had to find different color. They're not keys this time. They're diamonds.
yeah,
You
they're
could-
diamonds, and you put them in like a little, what's it called?
Diamond holder.
So
A receptacle.
I can't remember what it's called.
Key slot.
So you basically put a diamond in there and then
And then it'll open up. And it's different color ones, so same kind of thing. You put in the diamond, it opens up a different color.
also there's one thing about Tor that I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was frustrating.
Yeah, I don't know if we ever beat that one either. And again, there's since the levels have only some of them have oracles in them and some of them don't. That one we didn't have to beat, but
You find like 7 oracles maybe?
yeah.
And so
Do you remember how you got to the island of with the tar on it?
yeah, so
You had to collect a
bunch of swimming gear.
scuba gear,
Scuba gear. So,
and there's a
yeah,
scuba level.
There is a scuba level with the Dorkfish.
With the Dorkfish, yeah. And I believe there was an oracle in that one, which was funny because when you rescue them, normally they're like, well, thank you, I'm going to go back to the oracle chamber. But this one, when you rescue him, yeah, that's and Keen's like, I don't know what you said, but cool. So, anyways, yeah, once you rescue all of the oracles, though, as I recall, this one doesn't have an end boss on it either, right?
Yeah. You should find all the oracles and then go.
They use the Oracle machine or whatever it is, and they tell you where it is that you need to go to.
Oh, yeah, what was it called? Like a Najabaj. So that you gotta call that the are going to destroy the universe and recreate it for their own. So the game ends with him flying off into. Oh, also, so he gets a call saying that they're going to destroy the world. They reveal to him who they are, and the game ends by you see him blasting off in a spaceship to find out about them and destroy their machines to destroy the world.
What's this machine called?
The Armageddon machine. The title of the next game.
Yeah. Do you want to know something?
Yes.
I don't remember much about this one, except for that it reminds me a lot of Part 2. Because
So you're basically on a spaceship.
Oh, that's the one. Okay, I was wrong.
You're on a giant spaceship, and there's. So, anyways, you're on the spaceship, and the soundtrack. You said it was a lot better than the fourth one, right?
I found that it was better than King Dreams, that one that we don't talk about.
Yeah, the game that we don't talk about.
Right.
I told you we won't press about it.
No, it doesn't matter how much you pay us. You got that, Tracen.
So, either way, So there are levels. A lot of them don't have reactors in them. So the reactors are what powered the Armageddon machine to destroy the universe. You have to destroy all of them in order to, let's just say, yeah.
These ones were the ones that you had to break with your pogo stick, right?
Yeah.
You don't break your pogo stick. You don't break them in the second one. Sorry, that was all with the laser.
You break them with a laser in
episode 2, yeah.
And so, in this one, you get to them, and there's these little glass parts.
Mm-hmm.
You hop on it with your pogo stick, and then that level ends.
Yeah.
In the end, however, the last level, the core reactor, you can't beat it with your pogo stick.
Mm-hmm.
And there's these little big black squares with red eyes, and they follow you, and they are explosive. Mm-hmm. So you have to lead one to the core reactor, blow it up, and then so ends the Teen Trilogy.
Two. There was only 2. Yeah, there was supposed to be a 6th one, but funding ran out and stuff, so they kind of had to wrap it up on this one. It's pretty cool. In fact, actually, do I recall that there was a teaser?
There was a teaser, and it actually was a trailer for the Game Boy Color one.
And Mortimer...
Yeah,
McBean.
So either way,
whatever that guy's name
the
is.
teaser was him looking around in their office, and he didn't see anything, and then it just zooms in on underneath a desk where there is basically his helmet, but it's black and red.
Yeah.
So it's basically a dark king.
Mortimer.
McBean.
McDonald.
Mortimer McDonald.
Mortimer McDonald. Okay, so let's give one thing that I want to say about both of those, 4 and 5. I liked that they had a lot of... you kind of got paid off for exploring. There were certain walls that you could kind of go behind, and you could find different... boosts for...
That was in the fourth one.
Yeah, well, in this one too, because I recall jumping down some shafts and pulling over to the right, and you end up getting to go through walls and things like that. And the fourth one had these little green dot, and you think, oh, it's just a little green dot, it's just traveling around, and then it's this gigantic worm with teeth that goes and gets you. That one got me.
That was annoying.
But you can shoot him, but it's hard to do. But anyways, I digress. What would you give Secret of the Oracles?
Secret of the Oracle.
Yeah.
I would say probably a B plus.
B plus.
There's definitely some good potential to it.
Mm.
Actually, you know what? I think I might say A minus maybe.
Yeah.
It was a big upgrade from the first 3.
Yeah.
There was a lot more exploring to do. There was like an automatic extra life that you could get in the first level.
Yeah. We missed it.
We definitely missed it.
Yeah.
So there was also the addition of the soundtrack, which we definitely mentioned.
Mm-hmm. You got a little music.
Yeah.
And I like the scuba gear. I like the scuba level.
Yeah, it was. I didn't get to play it myself.
But anyway, yeah, you're welcome to know. But what I was gonna say on this one, I'm giving this one an A. I love Commander Keen Part 4, Secret of the Oracle. Man, it's such a good one. I feel like there is maybe an A minus. I think there are still some levels that are too hard, and I felt like
the Isle of Tar was just.
I miss. I like an end boss. I really do. So I was a little bit bummed that we didn't get an end boss with either one of these.
Like there was probably like nothing to fight at the end of most of them.
Yeah.
1 and 3.
Yeah, but I mean, it's got to be an A minus for me. I love the idea of getting picked up by a giant foot. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah, getting picked up by a Loch Ness monster.
Hey, there's a foot. It's a foot. So
Yeah,
I
it's
just
a
think that's
foot.
funny. That's
Just a
hilarious.
flying foot
A
that
gigantic
leads you
flying
to a-
foot out of nowhere, right?
That leads you to a hidden pyramid.
12 inches make a foot. And
Yeah, we didn't we didn't play the secret level, but we did hear that at the end there is a guy that he's
yeah.
just like an oracle. He says he's just a janitor, not janitor, but he claims
It's a
the
guy that mops the floor and also plays with bowls. Toro with his mop, I guess. I don't know.
janitor.
Janitor. Okay.
You know, so he claims to be a janitor, but the guys locked him up there.
Yeah.
The naughty
Naughty aliens.
The naughty.
The naughty aliens. Okay.
Naughties.
What was your you said A minus on that one? Or did you say something?
Yeah, I said A minus.
Yeah. It's either an A minus or an A for me. I love that game.
Yeah, that was good.
love the tiny things. Like I love that you can go to the main menu and you can play
Paddle War.
Paddle War with his.
And then so, in the beginning of the 5th one, we forgot to mention. It said,
Oh yeah.
72 light year. Wait, no, it was like something like 9 light years and 72 furious games of Paddle War later.
Yeah, he arrived. Okay, so since we reviewed 5, what's your grade?
My grade for 5, I would probably say something close to the same one as 4. It was definitely high quality.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't anything in there that I necessarily got frustrated about.
Mm-hmm.
There were a few things that were definitely frustrating in 4.
Okay, so it's probably about the same, maybe a little bit better.
It's B.9 or something.
B.9. Yes, alphanumeric there. For me, I feel like it was. I'm gonna say it's about the same for me. Maybe a little bit lower, but again, the difference between me and you, Tracen, is that I have nostalgia. And hello. No, but I loved number 4, and I played the heck out of it growing up. And 5 is about the same. But again,
he didn't exactly play it, but
I didn't ever get to play that one. I played the 2 shareware ones because my parents were cheap. Just kidding. But I liked it. I felt like it was solid. I felt like the way that you destroy the final core generator, I felt was kind of unique and genius.
Yeah, it was definitely unique, but it wasn't exactly unique, but it was definitely genius.
I feel like it was good.
It wasn't unique because there's certain things in like Kirby and Mario where you have to throw a bomb at stuff.
Yeah, but how often do you have the bomb has to follow you to go and get...
Shoot, yeah, there is a level in Mario Galaxy 2 or 1
Yeah.
I think it might be 2. Just so you know.
Sorry. I thought it
Mario
was.
Galaxy 2. There, you have to make like a Goomba follow you to this guy who gives you a star.
Okay. Well, there's the other one I was thinking about that with bombs following you is Sonic 3 and Knuckles. When you're getting missiles are following you, and if you can get them over to,
Oh yeah.
that's how you
There's
attack
a
it.
lot of Super Mario Galaxy 2 things that I am going to say probably. There is one where you have to make a bullet bell follow you to a glass cage with a cannon in it. Yeah, they can fire yourself out. So.
Yep.
There's definitely a lot of... It wasn't unique, but it was pretty smart.
Anyway, as far as Apogee's games go, I feel like this one was pretty good. We played quite a bit of other ones of that studio. And yeah, I think Commander Keen has got to be up in the top 4 or 5 at least.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, that's the Commander Keen series, and I felt like it's pretty good. I would love to see this one continued in the future.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of hard to, because sometimes you always say, "Oh, it was a good game," and then you try it again, and then it turns out to be something not great.
Yeah. There was like a edition on your phone. I heard about it. I don't exactly know. Do you have any information?
I do not. There's an iOS one.
Yeah.
No, I can look for it, but like I said, I don't know how good it would be nowadays, because
It was probably really good.
it's kind of okay. So like, Apogee has kind of turned into I forget what the name of the new studio is, but anyways, they've changed now, right? So I mean, it's kind of the same thing as what Rare did in the '90s. They did a whole bunch of good games for the Nintendo, and then they got bought out by Xbox, and they really haven't done a thing since, to be honest. Aside from Rare Replay, which was just a compilation of all of their games that they did on Nintendo. But yeah. Anyways, Tracen, what's your take on the future of the franchise?
So
What are you thinking? Switch, PC?
I would probably say that it might be released on some kind of new system, maybe the Switch 2.
Okay.
If there was a sequel, I would probably put it into one of the top systems.
You think that you could, if people were to make another game like this, they could make it that it would still hold its own with the previous entries?
Probably.
You do? Okay.
But I think it would probably be like as big. It might be as big of an upgrade from Mega Man 10 to 11, though.
Maybe. To me, I feel like it's kind of like Back to the Future. Like, that's a pretty good trilogy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's perfectly. Like, I don't think that Commander Keen is perfectly done. But I feel like it's done well enough that if you try to reboot it, it's just going to end up being blah. But you never know. Video games are different than movies. So
Definitely true.
okay. Well, I got nothing else to tell you about Commander Keen. How about you, Tracen?
Not very much.
Okay. Well, then, in the meantime and in between time, we do thank you for tuning in. If you stayed with us the whole hour, wow. But other than that, we just want to tell you, please tune in next week. We're probably going to go over something else pretty awesome. Put it in the comments if there's anything that you'd like us to review. If it's something that we haven't done yet, then you're going to have to give us some time to actually play it, review it, read it, look at it, whatever it is. If it's a catch-it packet, we'll have to taste it. Cheese.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, Tracen, anything else you want to say on the way out?
Alright then, I don't exactly have much to say, so over and out.
Over and out. You don't say over and out.